Good evening, good evening, good evening. So I want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for joining us here this evening. TGIF, thank God it's Friday. And thank God it's here. So it's right here back behind the microphone. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe, right here in the USA, Liberia, other parts of the world. Time check here in the East Coast is 8:08 Eastern Standard Time, right here from the New England Bureau of the Lpr-Public Radio. I am your host and presenter, Alfonso Zian. So right here this evening, as usual, we say thank you so much for joining us here. If this is the first time, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. You are under the roof of the Lpr-Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We are very inclusive. We welcome voices that agree and disagree with us. We discuss high core issues. We intend not to leave no one behind in the national conversation, political, economic, social, infrastructure, business of our country from all spectrums. There is no partisanship here. Even though we do have folks here that are so much drawn into what I called what they strongly believe in, but at the same time, we ensure that your voice or voices be heard, whether by phone call or by just participating, tweeting. We all monitor our live view to see what suggestions, your comments. All we call for is civilities on this network. And for the most part has been the case. We say, Awinant, good to have you here. Good evening. If this is your first time, good morning, depending on your location. If this is the first time, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. Mohammed Sanor is in her corner outland. Good evening. Now, man, Mr. Dia is here. Brown, good to have you here. I know most of you took pay today. Today is Friday. Yeah, most of you take pay. So I want to see whether my blessing will fall down this evening. Somebody will make a mistake and just go to their cash out and there say, hey, Mr. So what's the cash out? Invalid number is there already. You can get free will offering. You never know. The Bible says you gave. You never know when you give tomorrow. You might get something big here. Oliver is here. Good to have you. We say welcome. A lot is unfolding. A lot is happening simultaneously in our country. The conversations in different forms, different contexts. They are not going much deeper into it. The repercussions and what needs to be done. But as usual, radio hosts, commentators, they are surrogates. Everybody throwing that sort of little red meat soundbite to see to gain supremacy. We are doing the best. They are not doing the best. At least we're doing this one. It wasn't done the last time around. The blame game is just it's just moving here and there from one corner to another corner. We don't do it here. We don't. We try as much to tell you what you need to know. It doesn't mean you can question us. We are not infallible. But we tell you what you need to know, and we can have those sort of conversation because that is very, very vital end to our process. But every now and then, we are in a desperate times, and we are aware that Liberians, both home and abroad, they found themselves in a sort of state of confusion. You go to network B, you get different soundbite. You go to network C, you get different soundbite. You go to D, you hear different things. So the question now becomes, where do we go? Where is the equilibrium? Where is the balance? Where is the objective analysis? Each and everyone is protecting their own alligator. Bottom line, that's it. They profess to be an advocate. That's the kind of government, the way I'm doing it for Liberia, I'm doing it for Liberia, I'm doing it for Liberia. The very Liberia they claim to do it for, when they are called to do this, they becomes initiated in the system. They becomes more than corrupt. And all you hear from them is justifications of the action of their action. And they are being protected by their political Goliaths. It's not in isolation. They are doing. And we are also responsible because you, the follower, you, the supporter, you, the electorates, you give justifications of their actions. You back them up. You call them your gods. You call them your political leaders. Probably people need to go back and look on Amazon. There's a book called Liberty Hijack by legendary Kai Gerald, former government officials now more or less giving back to the country in a unique way. How the war liberty a political leader came into being from 1957 when people started doing stuff and things like that. Now it has resurrected. So they kind of coin it, they kind of put it in a different bubbles and selling it very, very well. And that's exactly what is happening now. We will try to activate the line here as much as possible, and so we can have the conversation, so you can have a say. Ali, good to have you. Francis G. Hey, my man, Dualo is in the house. Mr. Dualo and the people. Good to have you. How you doing, brother? Dualo, very decent young man. You know, good to have you. Hope everything is going okay at Dualot, and we are glad that you chipped in here this evening. Thank you for all what you do for your country, your services, and whatever you do for the country. I want to thank you so much. I don't know why I've been here. I've been seeing Nia, waiting to see, man. Say your name can come out. You guys fought hard. Brian, good to have you here. We say good evening to want to welcome you. This is a Liberia Public Radio. Very shortly, the analysts will assemble. And even if the analysts are not here, you are here. You are the most important into this whole thing. Because when they come here, it's all Tabata. It's all Tabata. How their people did it the last time around, and their people doing it now, and at least they won't do this, just layer over layer over layer justifications and excuses as well. So a lot is ongoing. The conversation being various, like I said, depending where you turned and and people who are executing or facilitating these conversations. We're going to take a different lens here this evening, and some of the concerns you've been saying. You know, a lot that is ongoing in the country, and we here in the diaspora, we are part of the process. We must be concerned with what is happening in Liberia. Whether it is good, it is bad, we must have a voice because it is our land. And so we must also participate in this conversation. What is matter though is the authenticity we bring to this table and how we discuss this conversation. I want to thank you so much for joining us. In the meantime, there are people that are helping to keep the wheels of this industry going, moving, and spinning. Let's take a quick break and I will be right back. If you are a traveler, this is the news for you. I'll be right back.
Hey you, it's time to pack your bags. The world is calling. From the skies above to every corner of the map, explore all 7 continents with journeys designed especially for Europe and Africa. Whether it's a cruise, an all-inclusive resort, a hotel, car rental, theme park getaway, or the perfect excursion, Ayana's Dream Escapes brings the world within reach. Adventures start here. Don't just dream, escape. Book now, visit our site, scan the QR code, or just call today.
Hello listeners, this is Mazola, the lover boy. I'd like to invite you to this exciting program. It is called Dancing for Jesus. It is intended to play beautiful inspirational music to help you turn your life to God. Join me on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is our way of showing appreciation to God for the good things He has done for us and continue to do. Don't miss this opportunity. Join Mazola Gizi on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the program Dancing for Jesus. Please be there because I will be here to rock it up for you. Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services and your friends in business.
Good evening, good evening. We say thank you so much for joining us. Again, I'm Alfonso Z and Salt of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Good to have you here, and this is what we do. We involve in multitudes of roles, not just under the government, in our community, what is happening before our very eyes. We always take that conversation as well. If you have a small business right here in the USA or in Liberia, let us know. We don't like to be the woman baker thing. Every now and then, give her this, give her this. We feel that we must provide you a service. You know, people work hard for their money. So in order for people to give you something, you must, or there must be exchange. That sort of barter system must take place. I must give you something and you give me something. We must have that sort of exchange and whatever business you're going to be. So we can advertise your business. You have an event, you need a coverage, what I hear in Liberia, let us know. If there's no way, we can find it out. And this is what we are notified. And so we always like to get people involved. Okay, they are here. They are assembling backstage. Senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio, and I'm talking about, man, Terry Collins is here. I'll be right back. Thank you, Elaine. Let's get the show going. It's 8:21. Let me bring in our analyst, senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio. Terry Collins is based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Is here this evening. Let's see what will happen. Terry, good to have you here. Let me see here. I don't think I like this one. Let's go this way here. Good to have you. Good evening. Happy Friday, TGIF, right? Is that it? Am I getting it right, TGIF?
T what?
TG. Yeah, thank God it's Friday.
Yeah, thank God it's Friday.
Your picture dropped today?
Approximately, but I don't know if.
There you go. When you see LeBron speaking big English now, what kind of melee?
There's a so. You can't look in the door ear too much,
Okay, well, all right, man. We can't talk all. So
as that you were in Lofa, I say you part of the Kissy people play with business. I don't know.
Oh, talking about that, people on record here, but I'm gonna hold my peace. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk. I'm gonna hold my peace because for long they've been saying I will wait. I don't say it behind people. I like to say it right in your face. One of the liberal and progressive, he attended the All Liberian Conference. He came here the other day. He promised that you were going to bring the report from the conference, right? You remember? The only analyst.
I thought that your guest promised to bring it. That Toto promised to bring it again.
Well, let me bring that to Toto. Then he would just, because they told me that they were going to give it to him. So maybe they give it.
Maybe you brought it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't promise I would bring conference report.
Oh.
Did I promise you that? But
So
the conference report.
You can't tell all. Then you say you got to promise that one got to make it.
No, I didn't promise you that. What's up, Terry?
How you doing, Doc?
Yeah.
Okay.
The conference report is on the conference website.
There you go.
We are preparing now for the diaspora return in December. And I hope it'll be Liberia for that. Also too again.
You who will be what?
As I hope it'll be Liberia for the diaspora return.
Who, me?
Me.
Oh, well, the one you went for, what happened?
It came out successful.
Yeah, what's the success? We haven't seen it. What's
the conference? The purpose of the conference was the corporate diaspora Liberia to invest in Liberia to take on investment opportunity.
Yes,
people
so you see, this is why you need to understand.
People went there. The people went there to listen. They don't know. They learn, and that's it. That was the aim of the conference was to expose diaspora Liberia to invest in Liberia. And what is happening back in Liberia. Like I said, I told the show.
What is the assurance in return? It's not just by telling people to go.
Yeah, so
to be honest. We have to be authentic. We have to empty these cars.
The NRA did a presentation on some of the benefits about diaspora Liberia returning home to invest in Liberia. They gave a presentation. The health center also did a presentation. The further ministry, agriculture, they all did greater presentation. But for me personally,
was there anything that they distributed for people who didn't even go? Still, they can be disadvantaged. You will have the opportunity.
No, yeah, they can go to the web.
No, I'm talking about the participants, the delegates. I'm talking about the delegates. Were there any handouts that people were able to bring?
Yeah, they get a handout. They get a package to people. To people.
Well,
but we have,
you may laughing at that. I mean.
For real, also we have to be real, right? This conference, I went to the conference observe to see. I was disappointed some of the presentation, to be frank. How people make the case for investment opportunities in Liberia. Some of the speakers that really convinced me to invest in Liberia. Their presentation, I don't want to use the word very poor, or maybe they didn't do good research, they didn't do good study or due diligence on their side. To really make a strong presentation or case to attract people to Liberia. That's one of my disappointments I saw at the conference. But we can improve on it. We can make it much better next to encourage diaspora Liberia. I think we can do that.
I think, and I hate to say this, I think the organizers, they are responsible for that. And that's what the problem is when the chief executive, when the president of the Republic of Liberia designates or gave an assignment, it is incumbent upon that group or that committee to explore all avenues to do what they can do with the utmost. And I think I said that here when we had even Dr. Don. Hopefully I want to get back. And as I'll be specific, I'm not going to be the liberal and his guy, Terry Dan, who don't like to call names, but the diaspora chairperson, Erasmus, I reached out multiple times. Not necessarily, if he doesn't show oil, that is okay, but I don't know how many outlets, even in the diaspora, because the conference was taking place here. So you needed to create a massive awareness to reassure people. Two, the venue designated more or less is a political base. So people will feel inclusive of being part of that process. Washington, D.C. No, I just thought, especially the first step, Dr. Toto, they needed to create an impression, raise the apprehension. Koto, if your camera come on, I'll be able to get you in. Just turn your camera on to remove that apprehension.
Yeah.
They could decentralize this year, let the government come to the people, because overall it's under the auspices of the government.
The government came to the people.
In Washington,
yeah, we saw the presentation from various ministers.
I know what I'm saying, Dr. Toto. You are a professor. You are doing great. Your salary, everything is going on. What about the ordinary person who is working from hand to mouth, but I want to see all the things happening? So what I'm saying here, let's be honest here. You see, this is what you guys do when you get among those guys in the bear world, then you become their chief defender.
Oh,
how many? Let's look at the people that attended and people that didn't. No matter what, everybody not going to be there. But what I'm saying here, say look at like in the East Coast here, you can group it into column and find a place to go there. You go to the Midwest, you go to the other side. I mean, everybody can attend and hear from people, because then it's like you go into the bar. Going to Washington, D.C. there, for me, it seems more restrictive.
No restrictive. It could be regardless of the city.
Yeah. These progressive and these LPP people, so you're doing that. Can be. Okay, guys. Good evening. Welcome, Terry. We're not Terry. You want to come to my rescue, and you rescue too, because Dr. Toto now is more than Galawolo this evening.
Yeah, but as independent voices, not in the rescue range, but we can still rescue the independent voices because we are independent. We are also independent.
Who? You?
I'm independent, Yeah.
What?
From the very day I came on the there where I told you I'm independent.
Where you going independent?
Dr. Toto, you are now from Lofa County. We who went to Lofa and ate the
Let me closer to Lofa. You come from
where? If you don't know, Terry, my brother from Lofa, my father from Bomb.
But I said those say border point. We're sharing border point with Nima. So what is the difference?
Okay, I don't say that.
I said those say we got border point. So that means the Southeast people can easily jump in.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So even the queen of the network is in the building. She has deserted me. She has denounced. She has declared me persona non grata and no more Lothians. I said, the liberal, that guy, I will wait until he comes. I'm not even going to talk. I will wait until he comes. The one at Liberal Terry,
I think it's the other way around.
But Koto, let me ask a question.
You're not sharing our song with me.
Koto, I saw a video training.
Liberal was money. Everything Liberal told you are not to
himself.
I saw a video training. One Koto Jara.
Mr. So say you got to record him, but we're saying labor will not to himself. Labor is money.
What happened to Koto
so
Jara?
any recording Mr. So bring her here.
That's what dancing the real Lofa dance.
Oh yeah, that's the Koto Jara.
I think I wanted the Koto Jara from Lpr.
That's the Koto Jara.
Okay, I mean that's good. I mean it was beautiful, you know. It was beautiful.
She not share with me. Are different people telling me about it?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it.
Just will get it. So I didn't send it to a particular person. I might get a share it, and
I saw it.
You see, like you said, you know, I'm the other way around. I no longer even Lpr. You don't want me to come Lpr anymore.
Oh my God! Seriously.
Just kidding. Just kidding, my people. Just kidding.
See, sadly for me, all my good friends, the Liberal has managed to have pressing the minds of all of the good guys, Dr. Toto, Koto, the Reverend. I mean, everybody. Only Mali and myself. But anyway, it is why it is, guys. Good evening. Welcome to the show. Good to have you here. Thank you for all what you do, giving back your expertise, your time, your energy. This is a lot. People should be resting from work and be with families and stuff like that. But yet and still, we are here. I think we are making a difference. We are making an impact. Folks are listening, whether they agree with us or not. They are listening and they are contributing because they also share their thoughts, their idea. We want to say good morning to our Southeastern correspondent, Roland Harris Ward Jr., doing an extraordinary job for NASA. Roland, thank you for all what you do. The man rescued, aka the so-called rescue, Clarence Davis, is here. I don't know. All right, guys, too much is ongoing. What is it happening in your town there? What is it happening in your country, like, bro? Jerry, what's the new flash for the day?
So the rescue people are not going to like me because, you know, I'm not feeling good with the way situation going on in Liberia, and I think it's not good for us. You know, and we have to be very honest with ourselves. You know, I was taking a look at certain things today when I listened to Gafwan, and 2 days now he spoke about $230 million that he placed in the budget, 2026 budget, to pay domestic debts. So my disappointment is Darius Dillon, according to him, said during the CDC time, he asked for the domestic debt. The people didn't give it to him. So my question is, the Unity Party government is here now. The budget is right before you. Can you also ask them for the domestic debt budget? The domestic debt that you're going to be paying those entities. Can you request for it? That's number one. Number two, what have been the government position since the GAC audited on the domestic debt record? Have you heard the government say anything about it? What's the final ministry position? Our reading certain thing here is very disturbing in the GAC report that was never highlighted by the government. It's a disappointment because the thing here is that the domestic debt, according to the GAC, the finance ministry has been fueling these domestic debt that was very much unverified. Most of the
Okay.
companies were unverified, over 700 million plus.
Okay, Terry, just hold your peace. I believe that's your lead in this whole conversation here tonight, perhaps. Let me just spin through the room, let everybody get their take, and then I'll come right back to you so you can flow. Dr. Toto,
Okay.
what are you hearing? What are you hearing in the from your back here, for which perhaps you want us to take on tonight?
You know what? We'll come down to terror issue with drastic concern. We'll come down to domestic debt. But you know what concern had to be with violence, Liberia. Our A Ohio last weekend, the honoring program of Ebony Emmanuel Whitey for a contribution to dual citizenship. The front page Africa CEO, Ronnie C. over there. And he and I had a lengthy discussion discussing some national issue. And he and I were agreeing on certain issue. And Ronnie C. said that he worried about Liberia. He said he not worried about corruption, political issue, other issues. He said he wouldn't worry. After we are doing part of that discussion too, and we said that political tension in Liberia, if political violence erupt in Liberia or religious violence, it will be so disaster in that country. Look at where, because politics has deepened in Liberia so much to the extent that people will pray for somebody for the person to die. The recent issue with President Weah was when they see us acclaim Roman keyboard President Weah sing that. How it was widespread on social media. People were wishing he. Some people I support the government, but some of our people were wishing death upon him. They did the senior President Boga also too. And this type of political retro is not good for the country. We're just discussing on Friday. I mean, not Friday, last week, Saturday, in Columbus, Ohio. They just to come and find out what happened in Liberia with the tension that erupted between the police and some other Liberians. So it's an issue that concern that it has to be addressed because if not, the 15, 16-year peace joy rather will get back to some of the things that happened in the dark days of Liberia if something occur.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Toto. Let's go to the Garden City of New Jersey, where senior analyst Koto Jalabalayan is standing by. Koto, let's get some hot pepper from New Jersey. And the weather is already here. I think you guys tonight we need to put some hot sauce and then what's up? Let's hear you. What training from your area?
Yeah, good evening to the people of Liberia, and good evening to you guys here on the panel list, on the panel writer. And I'm glad to be here tonight, tomorrow, this afternoon, this evening, whatever you are at this moment, to discuss the issue of Liberia. What's trending on my mind? I have a concern, also given by Terence, and also along with Mr. Toto, Dr. Toto rather, and also I have a concern of how, Liberians, regardless of what era we come from, I I see where we are not satisfied with development from a government that we fall under because we have political difference. I'm kind of concerned about it, and I thought we could add it on the various concerns that my colleagues have, and also the concern of the budget. We need to discuss the budget, and maybe we can get a copy and see how best we can go into depth on some of the issues of concern, especially with the concern raised on the on the what the chat or the cat, given. And we should start looking at issue because I see people talking about how they have had 13 mark or 14 mark and they did not consider it wasn't considered a pass grade, and then they're saying a 14 to getting 12 and they are considered pass, and not looking at the main indicators that lead to passing. I think we need to discuss this thing also because there are some, like for my area of nursing, they had key area that they consider major. I don't care, you can pass all of the other courses. If you don't pass in what they call medication administration, or they call medications, you don't pass in 90%, you are not considered a nurse. And like if they say you don't pass your bowl, you are not considered a nurse. You may be having your paper, you may have all your license. If you don't get past the bowl, you are not considered as a nurse. And those are, some criteria or a margin set or indicators that can reflect you being a passer or not being consider a passing mark. I think we can go through all of that and see. But now I
Okay.
want to stop on that and see where we can go.
Okay, so we're gonna do it bit by pieces. Hopefully, it's we gonna get a good chunk of that before the night come to an end. And of course, I have my own tapata to do this drama that is ongoing. Who bring this? Who do that? I I'm gonna come to it, but you guys, we're gonna go through it. But so, Terry, let's start with you. You say you believe the Unity Party people are going to get upset. They're going to get and rescue. I believe Rescue 2, Clarence Davis is going to be the first person here this evening. I wouldn't be surprised when he start hitting some bombs on you here. So share why you want to get upset with your people, or you think that people are going to get upset with you.
Well, I don't think they're going to get upset. I was just saying that in passing because I know sometimes our people can get under the skin and they feel that everything is an attack. But here is the truth. This government re-elections will be predicated upon the fight against corruption. That's number one. All of that. They're doing well. They have changed a lot of things. I support them 100% and will continue to support them over CDC and even over the ANC. But here's the thing that we have to be honest with. If you look at the records of the GSC report, as I am looking at here, there is something very significant, all right, that was stated in the GSC audit. They said system weaknesses. The audit reveals systemic failure in Liberian domestic debt framework spanning over 4 decades, including a pattern of inflated and unverified obligations, weak internal controls, and poor records keeping within the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. This goes back to 4 decades. So my concern is this. What have been the government position since the GAC audit? What have been our position on it? What have we said? Have the finance ministry come out to say, okay, you know what, gentlemen? Or the GAC came up with a report and we confirmed that report that those entities that we were paying money to, they are unverified. Have the finance ministry come out to say that? And if they have not said that, in the budget, are we still paying those people that the GAC highlighted that these people and the entities were not verified? What is the government position on those entities? I thought you would eliminate those entities and come out to say, gentlemen, we agree with the GAC report, so we got rid of those entities. So my point is, have we gotten rid of those entities that the GAC said that they were unverifiable? Number two, I thought it's supposed to be how can the finance ministry pay or government money to entities that they are not sure of? I thought before even the GSC start an audit, our government, the Ministry of Finance, supposed to know who they pay money to. So I thought all these things would come up, and I think, in my opinion, is that I like for the government to come up and make a position statement, because since that audit came up, everybody talk about it a little bit. I would prefer for us to come out now and make a position statement from our government that these entities that were highlighted in this report by the GSC is no more on our list. Those are just my concern.
And I think they are legitimate concern, and that speaks to the fact some of the things that we talk about. Yes, it's good for people to be indicted. It doesn't mean they are guilty until they are given due process of law, but it helps to straighten the system, because people make use of these weak systems. And like you said, you rightfully alluded, 3-4 decades. I mean, it's just people just using that as a Watergate. They are passing, and nothing much is being done to put that to a rest. Now, let me just come to Dr. Toto. What is responsible for the slow pace of this? I know the Chief Justice, the Supreme Court said they are, different reasons and all of that. But what is the essence? In the first place, we need to know how that happens. I think the last time from the CDC we saw that on the COVID thing again, they're giving people things who are people that are not existing, and they never. That is a crime in itself. You cannot take public fund, government money, and give it to people that are not existing on planet Earth, institutions that nowhere around ever being born before they can get baptized, and you give them the Bible to go and preach. This is the problem. So somebody must be held accountable. There are people that did what they did to get us to this point here. How can this thing here? We can't just keep repeating ourselves over and over and over, and people can be brought out, and people are not being liable. The other case can by the time you go low, it's submerged on water and nothing.
Yeah, first of all, just to get up to Terry's point. First of all, Terry already said that this is the issue of four decades ago. Took about 40 years. 4 decades, took about 40 years. I'm not appearing to be like a spokesperson with the government, but you get a government that just they're in power a little over 2 years. A problem of that. And they are trying to address some of the concern. But look at the positive aspect of it also too. Look at the recent MCC school that came up on the government, and that of they see to best in revenue that Terry is talking about. They have been at a turning point. Not a positive sign for the best in revenue that the government collected. And also it comes to the MCC school car where corruption was one of the major issues in fighting Africa, and the government is doing extremely well on corruption. So that shows that they are addressing some of the issue of the LCC report. If they can be very critical of very strong corruption to get a passing score on that, they also tell that the issue of the LCC report, the GSC report, all the agencies that have to do with fighting corruption in Liberia, the government addressing the issue, and which is a positive sign for our economy, especially the kind of domestic revenue. The government, I think, when I was reading some time ago, I think the first of a car for government to have a domestic revenue that, if I'm not mistaken, the number I think should be 700 million in domestic revenue collected, and they see that do extremely well on fighting corruption also too. Those are positive signs in the economy. So we should now rush to judgment and just make a quick statement. But let's see how the process plays gradually. But they are based on positive stride, where we can see a positive sign in fighting corruption and in domestic revenue. If these two things are tackled for me, That means the government is dealing with corruption and all of the LCC report the other thing.
Okay, Carter, you want to weigh in on that?
Yes, I think Terrence's claim is justifiable. And to add on what he has said, and we saw the GAC report that came up with the amount of 675 million in that claim and area were deemed invalid. So looking at that record, until I can see where the ministry have paid some of they identify, vendor that I claim as, unjustifiable. I can, claim that the government have not done well, because I think this is where it comes that it's set up. The report comes out stating that these vendors are not justifiable, and the government should then take a hew to this and go deeper into the investigations. And I think this is why you see people are already indicted that are found also within this same group of people. And I don't want to say that the government is not making effort. And we have seen the justice minister coming up to say that they are making all effort with all of these cases that are coming out to make sure that these people are investigated. In the absence of that, you cannot just hold anybody and grab them and say, "Oh, you are guilty." So these are alleged cases, and they still give them time to see if they can come up with proper documentation. So if they are coming with proper documentation, you get the budget. In the budget, it has to be identified. Why, if these people come up with proper documentation, the government can say because these people didn't have claim and we didn't set up in the budget. It has to be set up just in case that indeed these people come up with their proper documentation. They will have payment of their obligations. So I think that where we wait and see. I know that we all are concerned about the budget and the implementation of the Athens line. And this is where, for me, I like to see Athens lines. Where we're talking the other day, we saw people were just coming out, oh, money made and transfer. We don't look at the expansion of the money. For me, all my finance, my little finance knowledge I have, I like to see how the fund is expended. And if it is expended, where it goes, we trace a line, because I did auditing also. We go tracing the implementation line, whether the fund that was disbursed, that line item was actually disbursed and it was implemented. So, I think for me, on that line, that's what I can say.
So, Terry, my hair is pounding right now. Dr. Toto is saying, well, my wait is just 2 years, blah, blah, blah. Carter said, well, my wait and see. This is the headache that they give us here every night, every night. All of the excuses. Terry is saying he wants something to be done now. He has a strong supporter here. Now, there's a flip side to this whole thing here, and we're going to get to that, and I get to Terry, because some of those people that would be involved and still to be called. You have a how you call them group came up the other day. He threw out the 40 names. We don't know when those actual names will surface. Speculations and gov, the community, the country, this person, that person, we don't know here. Now, what could be a potential backlash if some of those people could be a high profile individuals or supporters from in the opposition column and all of that? And this thing, because once it go through the court system and it's a prosecution, then of course the law got to take its place. It can stay on the docket for the long years. That could be another political ploy. Everybody in high zeal, the election time not closer yet, but they want to keep the momentum going. And when those things are involved, everything going to be put on hold. Don't you
Be
see
careful what
that?
you say. You remember the other day when you made this same remark. The following day, I heard somebody saying oh, now they're hunting the sedition so they can keep their
Uh,
cases
uh,
in the docket. As I'm
no,
like, I wanted to play in Mr. Soul Playbook right now because he just said it last night, and I see.
well, it's not a playboy. I'm just saying that's the reality. These are things that can happen, and we don't want to give room for people to because I believe before coming out, my belief there are enough of reason. And if that is there and these people are being indicted, there are certain cases in order to avoid unnecessary tension, those cases must be expedited. All right, they must be given a priority. We'll put them on the easy path. They don't need to, we send a toll, we send a ticket after them and they pay. That's what I'm saying, Terry.
Yeah, Mr. So I think I want to agree with you because here's the thing here is that since that thing came up from the GSC by right, the LACC now was supposed to go into prosecute because that's the LACC. The LACC should have taken on the responsibility now to call those various entities, those companies and stuff like that, get involved to start prosecuting these people. So my question is, why is the LACC now moving into prosecute? Because these people have been collecting money from our budget with no proper space, nothing. So, like my brother Clarence, Rescue 3 is saying, that GAC will send a report first and think. But then the budget of 2026, if we're waiting for all those things to happen, guess what? The budget of 2026 has $230 million there to go just for domestic debts. So my thing is, if we're waiting for the GSC to verify those people, my question now will be to you, will those entities still be paid? Because by law, you have not yet, the GSC is just an auditing department. They just audited them. That does not mean these people are illegal or illegitimate. So that means if you just audit them and did not boot them out of the system, that means they still legal.
Function.
They are still legally supposed to be taking pay.
Right.
So if you got 230 million in the budget to spend on domestic debt, and these people still in the system, my question is, are they going to get paid as well? Because we're still waiting for people to exit to boot them out, blah, blah, blah. Because your government have not come out to say these people are illegitimate. It's just an audit from the GSC. That does not make it legal yet. So my question now is, the $230 million, are these people named on the list as well?
And two, just to
So
add a
now
little,
the budget is a draft budget before the Senate and the House. So they have the right now to tell the finance ministry that all those names that you're going to pay, can you present the information to us so we can take a look at it? The same way how Darrell didn't call the labor minister to present all the listing of all the people what he gave permit to. Can you also do that to the finance ministry?
and maybe Terry to just add a
You see
layer.
my
If we
position,
had,
Mr. So?
no, that's a valid position. And this is why Dr. Toto, he doesn't want to hear that. And that's why he turned his camera on. But when he comes, we'll still tell him. So another piece, good, you back. Another piece is if these other vendors are institution, what becomes, are they still active? Are they still functioning? Are they still carrying on other businesses? Then when will we come to an end to this here? And then Dr. Toto is telling us it's just 2 years.
You and Terry, you are listening to Cotto explanation just now.
Yeah, we go.
Terry want to sound like the American Democrat and Republican situation where Joe Biden was in power. Obama, they have the Jeffrey Epstein file. They didn't release it. They were in power. They had that file. They didn't release it. Now Republican in power, they tell the Republican to release the file, and they know very well that file has some damaging information in there. So that's the Terry trying to take. Carter just said that the report is there. The record has the report, but these people have not been indicted yet. So you cannot stop them from getting government assistance or whatsoever. So the process going to take place. But there have been doctor here. The
So,
LC process the report.
okay.
That
Now
Jerry
all I wanted
doctor.
to know. Now all I wanted to know. So that means the report is insignificant.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. Jerry,
Is
not
that
at
what
all.
you're saying? That the report is insignificant?
No,
Finabono,
not
they
at
still
all.
collecting our country money.
Not at all. Not at all. But under they go through the due process of law, he had to go through. Under they go through the due process of law, he had to take course.
Okay.
Due process to take place.
All right. Let's get to the next person. I believe that was Dr. Toto.
Beautiful.
I think everybody. I mean, it's good, and then we can, whatever time left, we can randomly pick up some other thing. Dr. Toto, we were talking about the violence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is a concern. And let's see here. I believe I'm not sure which one is which here. Wait, let's see here. Well, I'll just throw something up here. I think that it's
Oh, that one.
part of that is the eviction, and at the end of the day, we saw what happened, the arrest, and blah blah blah, and all of that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you were here a couple of days ago, 2 days ago, Dr. Mali. One of the independent, but with some extreme voices as well. Sometimes he and myself don't get along, but Dr. Mali seems to forecast what we're going to be taking place. Trust me, when you are going to be here tonight, and you're going to open your hand. You see, I was talking to you. I was talking about. What is your fear?
You know, let's get about the Dr. Mali first. Dr. Mali point is people should be arrested and put in jail and cells for punishment of that nature. And my argument to him that time was we are in liberal democracy. Let people give you a due process, let people face the law and be prosecuted. Dr. Mali said, no, we came for war, we should use or face point democracy on people. That's Dr. Mali key point. But in all, also a fellow panelists, we know we just came from war and also, but our environment, our community have become so polarized. And the recent violence, people want to try to align it with mostly a Christian issue or Mandingo and non-Mandingo issue. They want to make it as a tribal issue. And we saw in that particular video, you saw law enforcement. How, for me, the police did not do well in handling the situation. Because if you are a police officer, you're supposed to barricade the environment first of all, to not let people to infiltrate your terrain, do that called terrain management. And this is one of the things the budget of their part, what Terry was talking about the budget. We saw equipment in for security sector, and I will share the show some time ago. Some of it there for training also to treat our officer how to deal with the type of situation because we are in a polarized environment. Like Ronnie here, myself, we're talking about Saturday in Ohio. If anything erupts, it will also bad. We saw the 1990 war when people were attacking people personally because they had some grievance, say from previous argument, also went to the war. So we traded back to that same scenario again. So much effort have we made, how we train our police officers to deal with the situation, and also to consult our citizens also too. You know, it shouldn't be like a tribal issue or religious issue or whatsoever. Like, bro, there are so many, we have lived in that country for so many years. We all don't religious violence. My family, I have mostly, I have Christian, my grandfather has so many wives, some of his wives were Muslim. And the children for that Muslim woman also become a Muslim. So it just become, we have become one family, but the way things are treated in that country when it comes to violence is very it's called for. We have to really look at that seriously to be fair. That's why training on my mind to that and I brought up.
And who could potentially take the lead to minimize this? Everybody, radio facilitated, politicians who make careless statements, they go in front of the mic and say things. They don't know the repercussions because when you are a leader, when you're leading a group of people, When people looking up to you, they're looking up to you to for some sort of guidance and for some sort of direction. But most of our politicians did not like it. They sort of war tone like language is so much in the belly, and they say it, and their supporters act on it. And like you said, and that's one of the reasons when Terry with the other day we're talking here, that's what a disappointment. Even though the budget is hitting the sky, but we don't see the increase or the recruiting process. If they are doing it, maybe intelligence, they don't want to say it, but it must be outlined why the budget went up, and the lack of discipline by some of the officers, the excessive use of force. You can't, like you rightfully said, the country went through a lot. So you can't easily intimidate people by using gun or some sort of force. There will be some sort of opposite reaction. Are we telling them to go into fight with officer? No. But like you said, when they are doing these things, it's a planned operation. You want to make sure the terrain is safe because you want to have the law enforcers themselves safe. But you see when nothing happening, the crowd, you know, and that's what I want to speak to this video here with the president thing is I am against the consistent habit of endangering the president of the Republic of Liberia. This should not be
But
President.
I speak on the, what Mr.
I
Tulu
come in, yeah,
talking about. You have to say. Mhm.
yeah, I'll come into it. It just came in, but I want to hold that. But again, to that point, I think law enforcement they got to do better. Some of those people, whether they went through the training or they just grab uniform, you officer, they are just give my man on and just came my man, you can go and do it. But this sort of operation, there might be a cap because they are very sensitive. You got to kind of like some places you go and you want to take cautions at all costs because every little thing can trickle and it can go explode. Koto.
Yeah, where we have found ourselves in Liberia today is like every little thing that have, that comes up, people try to politicize it and sometimes try to put it in this tribal thing. But this case in question is a case that is between two Madingos and two Muslims. So I see no reason why, people are taking it to the extreme of religion, case. Because it is a Muslim man, according to his son the other day, that gave a piece of his property. I don't know, allegedly, because, but it could be, but I can't even say allegedly because the court has come up with a ruling that indeed this place is owned by this particular person. And we all know what we have been going through with land issues, especially with some of our, ancestral or grandparents that had property and people have come inclusion, on this land thing. But the court have come up with a ruling. We have to, educate or tell our people on when the courts come up with a finding and they're with a ruling, we have to learn to abide by the ruling, you know. And I think this is where many of us have not learned that, and because we have not learned it to accept it, especially it's hard to accept, especially when you know you own your property and then it is otherwise given to another person. But again, what happened is most of the time, some of these people that have acquired land, they did not go through the proceedings, many of the proceedings, like probating or doing some surveying. These were things that were not done. And we see that today these things are happening. And when it is done now, they look at the present day, not the past days. So these are the issues that are coming up, and people been living in places for 50 to how long they've been there. They're so comfortable. So getting rid of them in that term is it raises some tension. But again, like Mr. Dr. Todo Reddy said, we have to have a security agency that will be able to diffuse a situation when it comes to this level because you will see that people are of different, engagement. But you should be trained in a way where you know, better engaged in, or amicably engaged in, or had settled them in a diffused them in a manner where you'll be able thing, because that's their responsibility to kind of seize cases, or tensions. So if it is not done in that manner, then we see it become chaotic. And like you were saying about the boss issue, and this is what I see. We have an election that was held. It wasn't like a 90%, 95% winning. There are other people from the other side that are disenchanted. And we were seeing people that were saying they wanted coups, or they wanted, the wrong things done. Now that good things are being, done by this president, they are against it because they've been used to the bad things. They advocated for the bad things. And now the good things are done for the people who want the good things. Now you will see that where you come, the good and the bad. See, people are there advocating for the bad. And we all know this thing that even Satan has his followers. There are people who are not happy. But again, like what Mr. Dr. Our doctor said yesterday, oh my God, see, he's going to beat me today. He said, are they not going to ride these buses that today they are booing at? Are they not going to be enjoying the electricity? We did not. And it's so sad because
So,
something that is benefiting all of us. We are not there. They will be the beneficiaries. They are booing at them. I think it's better way that we can show some sign of, appreciation when it is done, for our own sake,
look, honestly, that buoy, as far as I'm concerned, it don't mean anything to me. It's just how do you call it, kafria or whatever. It doesn't make no sense. U.S. president 2, 3, 4 days ago, for the first time since 1978, he was booed at the NFL stuff. What does it mean? My focus here is we began to see the last time around how the president and the office of the president was overwhelmed. These are the responsibility of a government making sure transportation, I get a national transportation. I think this should not be the case for the president to leave the Oval Office. That's my view. That's my opinion. To get in that sort of public area, a volatile country, it's aggressive crowd. I think the national port, how you call it, say, the transit authority or director or Ministry of Transports and all the relevant agency should do that. And that's what we saw the last time around when the CDC-led government, for every little thing, George Weah was used and the president was overwhelmed. The office of the president should not be pick or come, president go commission, a boss come, president. No. Maybe when we start getting Air Liberia, when we start having our own naval days, we haven't start having this thing, then. But this one, I think these are directors, assistant ministers, or directors, they can go on the test ride. You can't go put a president in there, go into a crowd where you see other, obviously people are going to be, other people are going to say, no, it's not anything. I am focusing on the security of the president. When the president traveled, when the president moved, literally the entire government moved. We saw what happened with the at the university incident there, where somebody came from nowhere and just rushed into the president. This is the sort of exposing, always exposing the president, carrying the president places where you really need not to go. The minister of state who proxy the affairs of the president, the directors, and all of those people. But I think the president has been overwhelmed, and I think they are mismanaging the office of the president, in my view.
And I want to disagree with you with that because he was not vulnerable. They have securities in the boss with the president, and they have, in a movement, they have securities, surrounding the area through which the president passed. So it's not a vulnerable case where he was just exposed outdoors. He was in the bus. And securities around. Don't take it for
The
granted.
security are not around at the university when the president, when they rush into the president. Where were the security?
Well,
then
those are rare cases. That's not thing that normally happen. I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying those are not things that can happen often.
and then also
Yeah.
just to add to what you say, for the project management perspective, which is having one of my background. Whenever there's a new product launch or new thing launch, whether the boss ride or whatsoever, the leader or the president normally take the lead to show some sanity to the people. That this is genuine, this is it, these are the leader. So you can see America here, where even Flint, Michigan, when they had a water issue, Obama went there to restore confidence and trust in the people. Hey, you drink a glass of water there to tell the people to believe that the water he drinking is safe. So that's the
That
same thing too.
was a disaster that occurred. And when disaster
Yeah,
occurs,
but that's it.
then you show them
We
to
have we have
empathize
a we
with the
have
people.
we have a transportation issue in Liberia. The government done extremely well to bring some buses in to try to show the president to restore confidence in the transportation said to the people that this bus will transport from point A to point B is good, it's durable, it's beautiful, it's safe. I ride it to encourage people to ride the bus. That's it. Is that anything big of it? Security was there. So leaders nobody do this thing to restore hope and confidence in the population when you see them do this thing.
That is quite interesting. Terry?
Yeah, the president tested the meter system
Yeah.
and the card
So
system. Those were all exhibition, that was just, some like what Mr. Toto said, assuring the people that indeed what they have put in place is good for them, So, so
so
those are
Mr.
just
So
things that are normal.
this is for me. I don't even want to talk about it because to me, booing the bosses or booing the president, which was handful of people, you know, it just show the level of ignorance and the aspect of people not valuing what they're supposed to value. Because I think it's just mere ignorance because the bosses is not for the president. The president riding a nice car, he's sleeping in a nice bed, it's for you. So when you're booing the president, you're booing yourself because that's for you. The bosses are for you, and those bosses have what they think on it. It got it almost like the buses in America here. It got electrical stuff. You can use your card on it. It's modernized, it's digitized. So, and that is what it is. But booing the president doesn't mean that the president is not going to win 2029 election. Those are seditions. But the area Dr. Toto stressed here that I want to talk about it because we're just talking about it the last time here. This is in no wise indicate that this is a Muslim and Christian war thing. This was two Muslim people fighting over a land. When they give you an eviction notice, the only thing you can do is to allow the eviction to be carried out. You see? But the Islamic people, when it comes to the mosques, and you can do any other thing, if it was a house or so, they might have taken it differently. But when it comes to the mosques, once you breaking down a mosque or you removing a mosque, they see it to be an attack on their faith, on their religion. And it is incumbent on them to retaliate. So the police should have done, a more diplomatic approach by backing off, and allowing negotiation to take place. Because, just from that kind of thing, a Muslim people can see it as a jihadi. They can die for that. That is the reason why the other day I know it was in Kakata or why that they did the same thing with the mosque. It was also a game between Muslim and Fulas. You see? So you as a police officer, Jaha Gregory Coleman went and begged the woman, the Fula woman, and acted discipline after his police officer assaulted her in her something. the mosque is even bigger than that. The mosque to the Muslim people is their religion, is their faith. So you have to use discretionary, you have to be discreet, and you have to use wisdom. If you're trying to evict the person from the mosque, it's fine. But once they start to resist and throwing battle and doing other things and reciting some jihadist quotes from the Quran, if I were you, I back off. Engage the big people for the Islamic community. Call them, talk to them, show them that something, explain in detail, because most of the people, they are not even educated. Most of them, they don't understand what. Call them and inform them about the notice and tell them how important it is. And they will see reason to tell the people to leave. But once you start to invade a mosque and attacking a mosque, it's an attack on the Muslim religion. If you understand Islam, it's an attack on the Muslim religion. And they may not be able to fully retaliate now, but they will retaliate in the future. I was listening to one other Muslim guy, it's Mandingo Boy. He said most of them should start joining the army and start joining the police. That was all a message. He said, you start sending your children to join the army and join the police. It's a sign, it's a signal. So that's just my own small thing.
Yeah, let me just throw on Terry just to 10 years ago. When it comes to education, when it comes to the Muslim faith, like Okori in my community passed away, Rashid. He passed away. And I went to the mosque for the funeral. And the leader, the funeral guy called for 6 men to come and help to remove the casket into the mosque. And I know him very well. I went there to pay respect. And the other guy, because I was Muslim, he threw me on the side. He said, you can't come there, you can't come there. We had to say our prayer, you know, our Christian. And the Imam was there, very educated guy. He was there, everything that happy. He didn't talk. But after the funeral, he called me and he apologized to me. He said, I saw what happened. That gentleman was wrong, the way he talked to you. And I feel so relieved. And these are the type of people we need to have in our community. The imam, the pastors, when they see this thing happening, to try to de-escalate the tension, to talk to our people. And our community, our society, politics have taken part, have taken part. The incident that happened, it were 2 Muslim people, but the 2 Muslim group, they're from rival group also too. And it become a political issue. When the government issue that avoided also too. That Terry Reddy said, our people need to be trained good to handle some of those situations. The police, we are talking to over. And even the Muslim people, like the guy out Terry talking about, if the Muslim people can be more involved in the police, more involved in the airfield and other places, that got integration, then to be able to spread the message to their people. Before in Liberia, we should laugh at the Muslim people. And I'm trying to raise any concern whatsoever. We talk about intermarriages. It was very difficult between Mandingos and other tribes. But now you can see Mandingo girls have intermarriages. Somebody going to school now, they're learning. They are more involved in the political discourse in Liberia. And this is the society we want to see.
Let's go on to the phone line here. Let's hear you, Christopher, and I'll go to Carter. Christopher, are you there?
Yeah, Mr. Su, thank you for once again for the opportunity to contribute on the platform.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I totally agree with you when you said that those guys risk the president's life. You know, when they prematurely, I don't know whether they were thoughtful, but to put him in the bus and carry him in that kind of dangerous territory, it wasn't even a friendly territory. You know, the president, somebody could have ambushed the president, and it could have been worse. You know, we may disagree on some of the fundamentals here, but we cannot risk the president of Liberia's life. You know, hopefully next time they will be able to think about it properly, because these are national security issues that we are talking about here. And two, to the issue of the mosque thing. I'm deeply saddened about what happened, Mr. Su, because of for police to be standing by and allow other citizens to attack their fellow countrymen by stoning them. I don't know why the police allowed them to do that. I don't know why the police couldn't stop bystanders from attacking the Muslim people or the Mandingo people and their property. I think it was wrong for our police to do that, to encourage violence, to promote it, for other citizens to attack other people.
Are you saying it was the police that encouraged that?
Oh, I saw them. They didn't stop it. They didn't say, "Oh no, this is a police matter. This is a court issue." Citizens, we see jungle justice all the time. We see people killing people in the streets and without due process of law, and for the police to stand and watch other bystanders from.
Mr. So, can we just hold the basic point of order?
Yeah, hold on. I just want let it to do it, and that's what I ask. You want to ask a question, Dr. Tutu?
Yeah, I just want to know. Let me clarify some issue. When there was a jungle justice Liberia, somebody was killed on no due process. When in the Columbia,
we saw when the CDC boy got killed in Foya, and because of being a supporter of CDC, and then we saw the other little CDC boy that got attacked in Monrovia and killed, and then Queen Johnson was taking credit for killing him. She said that it was the right thing to do by killing our fellow men, our fellow citizens, and it's just wrong when whether a citizen died or whether somebody else just died from the other side. We should not be taking law into our own hands. We should allow the police to do their work.
Quickly here.
For the police to stand and watch citizens killing or trying to kill the Muslim people, trying to kill the Mandingo people, trying to stone them.
Christopher Tobasi.
It was just bad when I saw. Look, I studied criminal justice, right?
Yeah, hold on one second.
And I know what community policing is, right?
Christopher.
And Gregory Coleman went the last time begging the Fula woman and apologizing on behalf of the police, right? Even though they needed some training, additional training.
Christopher.
Yeah.
The action of the IG, was that a good thing?
The IG needed to do that.
I'm asking
you. Because when your officers violate rules and regulations, the IG has to do that.
Okay, let me
after the fact.
Okay, 30 seconds, make a recommendation. I want to go back to the analysts.
My recommendation all the time has been the police need adequate training.
Okay.
And when we all the time we talk about community policing, police officers should be able to relate or interact with their community in terms of something like this. They can be able to resolve it through negotiations and other means. And every time in Liberia they will fail when they call to duty, and it's pretty sad. And I'm disappointed in Gregory Coleman and the police of our country.
Thank you so much. You see, that's how polarized the society, because obviously the oppositions on the other side, they will push it everywhere. Then it will be so. For this, is not a surprise, because obviously people will want to make a political point. There was, I believe, a court ultimatum was issued for people, and that's what the problem. People do not respect the rule of law, and if you violate the law, there are consequences. The only thing is that I believe the police who are new, that they're going to be some sort of aggression, something that they could have put up, with good manpower to make sure that whole area was clear, because obviously people are going to infiltrate the system to just cause chaos to get us to be where we are, and I don't think that is not a decent thing for us to do. And like Dr. Tutu said, We saw that what happened during the civil crisis is literally turned to some sort of ethnic stuff with this thing, and we don't want to go back to those days because they are not days for people to remember. Let's just use them as a history, as a learning point for us to get other places.
And then also just to throw back on Christopher point. Christopher, I know him. We all know the point he comes from as sedition, and so I know where he point about the last. But for you to come and say that sedition have been targeted, sedition have been killed, there been no due process to address the issue. I think that it's very unfair, for him to come on a network like they don't make the type of accusation when it comes to the government kill the sedition or that is happening. And these are the same things we try to talk about on the network. Of course, when it comes to the put around statement there that happening to try to energize, to ignite people to see some of this of it. It's not just good at all. A principle they do try to desist for the type of thing. Yeah, there are so many things that happen in the job we have leadership, but we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that. The president brought exhibition or to showcase the beauty of the boss. Then he talking say the president got an ambush. That ambush he's talking that for a hand, we know where it's coming from. He's not just saying that's a good fit for the president. That's a so we know. Christopher. Don't please sympathy here to us on behalf of the president.
Terry is. I don't think Terry even want to talk in that one. Terry already caught the saying. Terry already caught the saying. Let's see. Let's hear the other. Okay, let Clarence finish, and I just come back to you guys before Clarence. Let's hear you.
Hello, sir.
Good evening. Welcome, Clarence. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Are you getting me?
Yeah, you're Clarence. Go ahead.
Okay. The key thing that you have been discussing tonight, the first is the debt issue that Terry raised. And I made the point. I reason with Terry because here we are talking about 704 million was discovered from 1980 up to 2023 that were not, you couldn't get account of it, and we are still saying there is a concern. But what the finance minister said to this evening, some of the domestic bill had to do with some of the money that CDC told a last minute time. When they lose the election, they told $83 million from a central bank. And then $83 million last year, the government paid $60 million this year. They are paying $60 million again, and next year they'll be paying $60 million. So although in our area, there are some areas in which correction need to be. But before that, when the CDC took over in the domestic, they have $260 million that they couldn't get account of. There's no trade. They can get access to their money. And the second point I want to make here is concerning the buses. I shared a video with Sarah yesterday concerning the buses when CDC was in power, when my father was NTA. Many parties sent over 48 buses to the CDC government. And when they were leaving, they only left 2 buses and all the buses broke down. By the time, NTA, they broke the whole place down. At the end of the day, they end up burning the office of the NTA. They destroy all the evidence and they destroy all the documents. These are the same people to get all these people outside and get them to be protested for buses that started to benefit from it. And the issue with the security, with the Mandingo people, sometimes, we can place some kind of a wrong thing into a wrong position. Many of these people that were on the street yesterday called themselves Christian. So they say out, and when I go to the church, they will not fear you. And so they have not been even going to church. But when something spark out, they want to use a religion meaning getting it to say Christian Muslim something. The first time the police ran and said, I talked about it on the show. You have men that were calling said they were saying Allah Kubalu. And the person is security over there outside when the police went there. So the police go by the second time. Police did not just begin. Then if they did not just begin with Thursday coming in, these men were 3 gone. So how do we expect for the police to get closer to them? But the police should not allow civilians to be messed up with them and when they get on the airway. That the rope out on the side of the police. But every 2 months, people are fighting for property, and the state is going out to provide security and taking care for the law to advance. I think they should get the law enforcement care, not the surveillance care, sir. Let the law enforcement care that something when they feel they can ask for reinforcement. But for people to go there and meet up with the police and first security, I think was fair even to the police and the law enforcement.
Okay.
So with the question that we are talking about, the one law and other than everyone, other law thing I think that people political party. How are they protected? But the law they go for 6 years. And the final ruling was given by the Supreme Court. First to the law enforcement down there get the shouldn't get the enforcement. So they put it here. So if CDC comes to power tomorrow, if somebody is free or somebody property, will you go down and get me and get it? Oh no, don't get the property because I won't win election. Don't put in election based aside and talk about the country progress tomorrow. Thank you for the show, Mr. Cole.
Thank you so much. Let's Aaron is here. Aaron, let's hear you quickly so I'll go back to the line. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Soul.
How are you?
Good evening to your panelists. I'm doing fine. Driving from work going home. I never wanted to call, but I just feel pressed to call. Listening to some of your panelists and the Rescue 3 who just called. Number one, parents should know process will not last forever. So if you the party brought process and the process when CDC was leaving, the process, some of the bosses were damaged and stuff like that. You the party was in power for 12 years. So what are you talking about? 12 plus 6 are 18 years. Okay? So first of all, Unity Party was the only one that brought bosses. CDC said brought bosses in town. If he doesn't know, he needs to know right now. Okay? I listened to your other panelists talking about the good things happening in Liberia and people not seeing it because they used to bad things. You remember I want to show the last time we were on the phone, just the same we're on the phone now, and I said, only the Unity Party people can see the good things. I think the other people are blind. That's what's happening in Liberia. Well, why would the president go to dedicate process? It's the same thing with the visa issue. Why would the president go to dedicate process? I mean, the people, they're desperate for anything that they can hang on to show that they're doing something. Anything. It's just clarification.
Aaron.
I
mean, ask you, do you remember anything of such happening to under President Weah as well, going places where he
No, President Weah went to dedicate stuff. But the war president, I don't think during President Weah time, I was not too much involved, social media every day looking at stuff.
I see that.
Yeah, but I don't think President Weah was dedicating water pump, police do the all the nonsense.
Yeah, man, he was.
I don't think he was doing it.
He was.
Yeah,
he was.
Because that's still nonsense. The same thing that you're talking about. Why are you taking the president from the Oval Office to go dedicate security food?
That is the same thing he did.
Yeah, I mean, only the people can do those kind of things.
He was digging
only
everywhere.
Can do those kind of things. And I love what they're talking about. The president or moving the bosses and stuff like that. Tell me, who is not going to use car to get in boss? Who knows how to use it? You know how to take those people?
All right.
The people who live in Westford, who live in Lucas, you know how I'm going to take them to get on the buses?
Thank you so much.
If you want to bring something, why you bringing hardcore to buses? Something can go by empty and the buses in the big.
You go, hey, boss, again,
everyone you're talking to, man.
I want to
ask you a question. I don't want to go. Like I said, I just got off work. I'm driving going home.
Okay.
The people on the show can make people
So let me tell you, Terena, if you play man, don't carry your pressure up. Please drive and reach home so safely.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Soul.
Okay, then. Bye.
Okay. Can I talk? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey, John. What's up, my man?
Yes. Good. How you doing, sir?
Good. Man, our country, the problem that's my problem. Okay, let's hear you. Put some icing on the cake here. Don't lay up the man. I call. I hope Aaron pressure not go up. Yeah, let's hear you, my man.
Well, let me start. First of all. I don't think we should keep talking about George Weah. Honestly, I love George Weah as a Liberian, like I love any Liberian. But in my honest opinion, when it comes to the presidency, well, it has already happened, right? Weah has become a president, right? That's fine. But let's not keep talking about that. Was an unfortunate situation. It should have happened for Weah. When it comes to the issues of soccer, I don't mind. Whether he can do it or not, we know that Weah has gone as far as he could, being the only African to win the title, being the world best. So I can support George Weah with my last breath. But the presidency is a migrant to our democracy. It's a migrant to our country as a sovereign independent country. To be talking about George Weah, Weah cannot even make a good community chairmanship position. Okay, I'm done with George Weah. Let me come to the president of Liberia right now, Joseph Boakai. I campaigned for Boakai, and I was still support him. But I think it was very wrong for the president to go for boss's dedication. I mean, the government we voted for is struggling to show tangibles. It's quite honestly. We are almost 2 years now, and the government we brought the power, talking about Boakai having so much experience, but the president is struggling to show something. The president is being surrounded by people who are just criminal. That's why sometimes I post on my social network that CDC and UP are criminals. But the only difference is that UP is a notoriously sophisticated criminal. That's it. President Boakai is struggling to show tangible. I'm not joking. I support this president even now. But it is so disgraceful that we see nothing tangible. You still have SOE guys taking millions of dollars, or our people cannot. Our target, my hope is for the people, the common people, to have food on the table. If they can't have food on the table, we are useless as a nation. If we can't provide for the people down to eat, we are useless. Everything we do, education, we are useless as a people. If the people cannot have food, if I was in Liberia, I would have gone on the street and boo at the president for riding the buses. I support President Boakai, and I still do. But if I was in Liberia, I'm in the US now. If I was in Liberia, I would have gone on the street, and if possible, I would stay on the road and boom, then they come and hit me. You can go dedicating people don't have food to eat. You just launched 1.2 billion where people don't have food to eat. We're looking at the reality. You're struggling. When John Malone proposed, we should have a gospel where people are vetted. You're just taking people from everywhere. They don't even know what they are doing. They just take people from anywhere because of politics. And they are just there looting. The president is there sleeping. They are looting. The president wants to try. He doesn't want to try. He wants to try. President Boakai has nothing to prove for his legacy. But it is sad that he did not listen to people like John Malone to vet people. Vet people. Don't just think about it, because what do you have to do as a president? You already at that age, you're 80 years old. What do you have? Your target should be your legacy. Do the right thing, or people are suffering. But if I was in Liberia, even though I still support President Boakai, I would have gone and stood on the road and boo at him for going to dedicate buses or people cannot have food to eat.
Oh,
this is not what we fought for. We didn't fight for this. We fought for somebody who got 40 years of experience to sit right in his office and make the change we want. Liberia, less than 6 million people. Nobody should go to bed a day on less than $10.
Okay.
You struggle. You can't face a country. You're struggling. When you're fighting to prove, what are you proving? You can't do it. You can't do it. If you can do it, we're gonna take you out.
Repeating himself over and over.
Anything else? No. We will vote you to celebrate you. We'll get you out if you can do it. No.
All right. Thank you so much.
You go celebrate bosses, now bosses will eat.
Yeah,
All right.
okay.
Thank you so much. That's Jay. Thank you so much. All right. Okay. Well, that's the beauty of this network. People will speak in different forms, and yeah, it is what it is. And I think I prefer for people to speak out than to have an outburst, and sometimes the outburst reactions, the end result can be good. And he's one of those that have been, I'm not sure whether you're UPS, but you're being a strong supporter of the president. And that's what I say. I don't say, because when you do these kind of thing, you just give room for the other side to have a talking turn. You find some kind of honor person, do a dedication, maybe bring wine in a compound, president inspect it, that's fine, but to just go, when the president travels, literally there's a shutdown in government, because all the minister, all the director, everybody will go. And when the president going back to his office or so, the people going home. So it means if you have a document to process that day, you're not going to get it done. So I think we have to be strategic in making sure how we safeguard government's revenue, because those people, I'm one of those that are against people coming only essential stuff, that is the security. For example, the president coming to go something, because people, they just use that to capitalize on it, and they do not end their job. They go from there, they go home. So
you didn't watch the program. It was only the justice minister and the people from the NTA. It wasn't other officials there to follow the president. So those are just.
Why you I didn't watch it?
I watched it. I watched it from start to end.
So how
It
you know
was
that I
not
didn't watch
other
it?
besides justice. But you're saying it like all of the officials went there
I am
to
saying,
attend the program. No, they did not.
okay, this one might not be applicable, but what I'm saying, when the president move, it's always a tradition that government officials should, and that is why when president move, the protocol become very tight. I mean, it has to be. It become very tight. So I'm saying some of these little thing here. I mean, little in the sense that I would like to see new air Liberia, and then the president going there to unveil to see, okay, then we're running our own big bird in the air. Well, we're starting little by little, but I am just saying the need to stop exposing the president to some of these things here. I mean, that's what I'm
You
taking.
could be right. Yeah, that's
I mean,
right. You're right for that.
okay. But we know other people who are getting mad and throwing unnecessary tantrum. That's not what we want to give them. So then, I mean, Joy, we are digging oil around too, and we saw what happened everywhere you there, everywhere you were. No, that's why you have a vice president. Why you have ministers in those people that are in those areas. They are certain things. Dedicate that responsibility. If anything, they come back to you. But well, guys, today is Friday. Today's what? Today Friday or Thursday, Koto?
Today is Friday. What's
Friday.
wrong? You Thursday you don't be here.
Well, I
It's
thank
Friday.
TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Terry now text me. I can remember Friday and all of that. Wow. Yeah. Okay, but guys, I think literally we are out of time. But let's do a wrap up here. I think we all have responsibility to make sure whether we agree or disagree with government, our language, our tone. We ought to have problem. We need to really season our thought, because things that come from out of us, it all can exacerbate and create unnecessary tension. And I just hope that situation, whatever it is in the near future, the security will do everything possibly they can. I don't agree with Terry to say, oh, because it's a muscle, they shouldn't go there. No, I think the law kicks in before. The law must be the law. The law must be respected regardless of your religions. I mean, there's nobody that is exempted because of religion, so you can violate the law. No, if they went through the court and there was a court order that people should leave, they should equally. If for any reason they needed extension, they could have gone back to that court to say, hey, we need an extension because we are still doing blah, 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 we're moving. But people get the tendency of being very defiant of the law because they think they want to violate, and there are consequences for that. So I don't agree with the fact for the police to surrender. Or we are just asking the police to use minimum force, be strategic in their operation, and do what they can. But people also throwing objects and try to harm police officer. You do that, you do it at your own risk. Your life could be taken. We know it here. When policemen stop you, you stop. When they pull you over, your hands remain on the car. You don't even get down. So what made you think that you just want to throw an object? The policeman is not a robot. He's not an iron. Police people, they'll get their wives and children home. They are just doing their piece of job because they love their country. Even though some of them are pain in the neck, but not all of them. They get good ones as well. So with the limited resources, they are running enormous sacrifices. People disrespect them. They cause them. They tell them all kinds of things. How will you feel when your father or your mom is a police officer and anybody say that despite of that one day khaki or one day blue, but they are in the traffic every day directing traffic? I think, and this is where the frustration, the government needs to make that field very attractive, make it very demanding in terms of salary benefits, so that when people go in there, they know what they are going for and they'll be able to do what is right. Dr. Toto, let's hear
Yeah,
you before we go home.
yeah, very good discussion tonight, on some of the issues that we talk about. But I think some of the call out, be do some due diligence to themselves also to what they call it, talking on some of the issues. We don't want to go back to where some of his dedication he did, dedicating a kick that you didn't even see the airline, they ate the kick, and all those stuff. They don't call up on the call, yeah, on the show, they want to make it look awkward that UP. That is also due diligence to the discourse also too. The issue of what
So
happened.
who pay for the cake? They eat the people cake, they eat the cake for the cake. Now can not go eat cake?
Yeah, they're not gonna eat the cake.
Oh my
You know,
goodness.
so
Sad,
I mean,
sad one.
so when Aaron there to Basi there, they call the show. They do some due diligence to themselves also too. They make it balanced and juicy, but don't make it so strictly directed to one side of the coin. There it was someone up. The issue of the mostly issue two mostly group or two tribal group doing something. They want to make the other tribe so get vets to jump into it also too. That's the question. You know, I am a parent man. My parent brother was fighting. There Cotto was a lumber person go and not join the fight also too because parent man. What make other tribe to join there too? So it just show that we have a social problem in our community. And there where our law enforcement officer to be trained how to deal with the type of situation, how to de-escalate in the detention because the stress in that is too much. Most of the guys are not de-traumatized the right way they're supposed to be. And a lot going on. So let people be tolerant to exercise patience with each other in that country. Library therefore ought to enjoy it. That's why I just want to close off.
Thank you so much, Dr. Toto. Koto or Terry, who wants to go?
Let me go.
Okay.
Thank you. It was a nice show, and I understand the sentiment of our, the other side. Today they are not in power, and I see they are so angry. And the thing is, I want to talk to them that I in in every situation somebody has to be on their own turn. Wait for your turn. I see you guys just want for 2029 to just come today and election be here today, but we have years to come. And, I feel people think that, some of our people are not, getting what they should get today. But again, we have a country that I cannot easily meet up with the need of its citizens. And the only thing we can do is to stop the corruption and see where the legal resources can be, divided equitably. I know it's not easy to have an equitable distribution, but at least the people down there can get what they can get to appease, themselves or be peaceful. and I feel with them. It's just that they are handling it in a different angle. I if your the moment hasn't come, we all working towards that moment where all Liberians get at least. If the bus is there, you are going to enjoy the bus transport. We see today buses are going in the various counties. Those are people who need the buses, who appreciate the buses. If you don't appreciate it, okay, that's good for you. We see today the roads are going to areas that people were not accessible by by cars, and today we see all of the cars going there, and we're seeing at least we are having a gas reduction in price, food price reducing. At least affording us that those all who have large family can now reduce our little costs, our expenses. Those are ways that it can help you if you're not directly working with government. And today you can go and have your little business, and you get your little money to sustain you. If we have that freedom, we all will be able to be happier in some way. We can have it. Even this is America. We all here in America. We know what it is. Today, you see what people crying for? Snack. That's not what people crying for. Yeah, just snack. We see people still crying for snack in America. So it's not easy. It would never be like everybody would be in the having that opportunity or having food, or everything to their disposal. It's not possible. So that's why some of us have to work our way through, and not just waiting for government job, or not just waiting for a white collar job. There are other means you can do your business, you can do your farm, you can do, I mean, responsible things to generate income for yourself. You can work. I see some people who still there and still saying they can't do any kind of job. You know how many any kind of job we did in this country before we got settled down? It's not easy. But again, I just want to tell our people, let's try to work together and forget about this sentiment or political party. My political party is not in power, and I can respect the one that is in power. Thank
Okay.
you. Have a blessed night. Go and sleep in peace.
Anybody who don't want to run a bus, what about line? Nothing wrong with it. There's some already there when when you go, they say you get typhoid 10, typhoid, I don't know, but malaria 10 plus and that. So Terry, let's hear you.
There's a slogan we have now. We're getting to know the real vest people. They say when the women we buy buses, they vest. We pass the MCC scorecard, they vest. We raise the budget to 1.2 billion, they vest. So what you really want the people to do? What you really want the people to do?
You see, Terry. The reason sometimes I try to reserve you as a man of God to come and soften the people up, but they other pastor, he can get. Oh, yeah.
Mr. So my position called for me to be balanced on both sides. You can't have your cake and eat it, So yeah, I have to be balanced on both sides. Okay, but here is the kicker here. Here is the kicker here, Mr. So. From the takeaway, on the side that I raised,
you like it?
my own point. And only if our people are aware of these shenanigans going on in the government with this alleged domestic debt fraud. If they part of it, if some of our people in the government part of it, guess what? The prosecution on Finabono will not hold. Because Finabono company there, she collecting. That is why the prosecution will stall, and that is why it will not hold. It's just a bluff. It's just a mirage. You see? And Clamartin got 2.something million, 2.3 million in the budget. So he could stall the process. But if that is clear, they can fight it, they can clear it. But my concern is the legislator need to call the finance minister and say, look, gentlemen, we want to see the domestic debt list. Let's take a look at it. Let ourselves do our own investigation to know who these monies, the 230 million, who they're going to go to. That's all my position. Who are they go? Who will be collecting $230 million? We want to know who these people are. You know, now they can't say, oh yeah, we get 230 million in the budget. Or the how you call it, CDC collected, they credited $80 million a year we get with. So last year budget we put $16 million in the budget for towards the $80 million. I was somebody asked the minister today. The person said, so Mr. Minister, when will I think it was Daniel Sando, when will we finish paying the debt that CDC collected to pay in 2023 for salaries, and when will we finish paying all that debt before we start really benefiting from our own something? You see, so these debts are not bad to pay them, but we just want to know who are these people who pay. That all. So and I don't think that is a bad question, Dr. Toto, because from what the GAC highlighted in recent time, it have opened our eyes to be skeptical. And the GAC is saying that this particular hurdle have been going on for 4 decades. This has been a pattern of how people getting rich in the country, building multi-million-dollar houses that you yourself don't even know how the money coming. These are organizations, these are entities that they got false names, that they've been collecting millions of dollars from the budget. And guess what? Nobody is talking anything about it. But yeah, so, but lastly, Mr. So the jihadi stuff is something, these people, I know that we don't have those kind of a terroristic, extremist Islamic people in our country or in our region that we're talking the last time. But here is the thing here. When you attack a Muslim, or a mosque, the Muslim people can die for that. They can die for it. So our government they don't need to look at the thing to be from the law perspective that, oh, we're taking care of these things. I was just looking at one of the videos just now online, and I saw the imam, his head bloody, like somebody threw rock on his head. This is not a good sign for Liberia. We who know about the Islamic religion, this is not a good sign. It's not a good sign. So we have to nip this in the bud. And I think we can call these people, we can talk to them. I think the police can do like in-house talking, call the imams, call those religious Muslim people, sit them down on the table, y'all have a conversation and settle this thing. Thank you very much.
All right, well, that does it. I caught her in the back. I believe you are talking. Well, Dr. Toto, I want to thank you so much, always your expertise. Please text me that book. I'm trying to check it out on Amazon. Yeah, please text me. Let me, when I look in it, then we can have a conversation about that as well. So that's okay. Yeah. Okay, Terry, as usual, thank you so much. You always
good to see you. And that book there, you gotta make sure that we get our own copy. How much is it on Amazon?
Amazon going for the hard copy.
But you're not even doing publicity with the book.
Yeah, you didn't bring it.
Yeah,
right?
on page. I mean, publicity. You must have that. You must have.
Yeah, bring it so that people will see.
Okay, that's what I bring.
Yeah, so we can start buying the things.
Yeah, I bring a
Are
copy.
the liberals stopping you? By the way, the liberal, hopefully by the grace of God, he's doing okay. Hopefully he will return by Monday.
Okay.
Taking care of stuff. Even though
I gotta call my papa over the weekend.
Yeah, but right now, I mean, there's a Watergate stuff going on with the liberals. So I have some classified. I got some classified document. I'm not going to
the liberal to come back and take it.
They will now move in the court of law.
I get it. That one part I get it. It's
the liberal be overthrown.
Yeah, you can't.
You got a recording?
The other recording part, Terry, is a real time recording. I mean, that 1 year part is a real time. I will play it right here.
Is it the Eastern file? I know what kind of file again was Donald Trump?
Jeffrey,
I know the
I will play it. That one part you will try you get tired unless you want to take it from the share. That's the thing that good money involves, but I know you will not want to do it. All right, guys. That's
okay.
Thank you so much. And I want to thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, folks, that does it. We want to thank you so much. Tomorrow is Saturday, yeah. John, the lover boy Manzola Gizi You're gonna be having a program tomorrow. Our understanding there's a wedding going on in Philly. As you know, we are heavily involved in the community as well. Just in case you have a function any part in the USA, inside Liberia, let us know. There's nowhere that we can reach. We want to thank you so much. If this is the first time T's here, thank you so much, Aaron. We thank you for being here. To Abraham, it's good to have you. To Bidel, and it's Christopher Wulati Tobasi, and of course, my man Morgan, to Victor UJ Morgan. Good evening. John, to Mr. Henan, thank you for your contribution here tomorrow. Tonight, did I say tomorrow? And of course, our man Momolu, Moses Momolu, is in the house as usual. Venetius, what's up? We want to thank all of you, all of you. If we don't call your name, it's not on purpose. Joyce, good to have you here always. By God's willing, so we'll be back here in the coming week. By the grace of God, the Liberal Progressive going to be back here. You see how the program is quiet of lately. No noise, no drama that much. But when this old man comes back, it's going to be another hell on earth. But we'll do what we can do. I want to thank you so much. And that's the guy. He doesn't. There's a problem with him with Obi forcing. He doesn't pick up phone. And many people have been told me that they always try to reach out, calling him, texting. The papi don't pick up phone. But we really, really appreciate your support. And I mean, he has not been laid to rest. So, but at least he has taken care of things he's supposed to take care of. You know, he loves this thing here. He loves his Tabata. So when he's not in the Tabata business, then he's like, he's in pain and his stomach and all of that. So he will be back here by the grace of God on Monday, and we will be here so that we can have this conversation. We want to thank you again so much for your commitment to this network, showing up here, your tweets, your comments. We usually go back and we learn a lot. All we urge on this network, and it has been ongoing to maintain civility. We shouldn't get in our feelings. These politicians, you cannot put your life on the line for them. It's about the country. And people speaking out is their own convictions, whether we agree with them or disagree with them, but it's their own convictions. And that's their own way of expressing, speaking about the ills they feel that is wrong about their country. So we listen to them and give them the opportunity. If there's a follow-up questions we can ask, and they are at liberty if they choose to answer or not. But we must allow people, we must call everyone to speak about his or her country. Until then, folks, we want to thank you so much for your time. And by God's willing, we'll be back here. Tomorrow I'll be off. But anything can happen, you know, anything can happen during the day. So, but Sunday definitely will be back here with your regular editions of the Examiner. Until then, have a blessed and pleasant evening. Bye-bye.